Never before in all our history have these forces been so united against one candidate as they stand today. They are unanimous in their hate for me, and I welcome their hatred.
The needs of working families in the middle class, not just the billionaire class. We know what's going on. We are paying attention.
Good morning, everybody. It is Saturday. It is, well, first, apologies for not doing a show last week. That was just all me. We're going to talk about why that happened, or didn't happen. And I'm seeing some weird stuff on the audio, so let me know if you're getting echo-ness. It's already starting with the morning stuff. I think I got through the intro without problems. We have a lot of people here with us. We've got Dennis, who won't be on camera just because I don't have a camera for him. But we also have Markus and Christine and Amos. Thank you guys for joining us today. Let's see if I can put you on here. Got the 4 shot. Hang on. Bing. There we go. Hi, everybody. Good morning.
Hey, guys.
Hello.
Morning.
Morning, America.
And thank you all in the audience. I see you all here. We've got 26, 34 already showing up. Hi, everybody. Wow, that's a lot of people. I really appreciate it. And I appreciate all your kind words in social media, Facebook and otherwise. I did have a birthday on January 31st. Dennis has a birthday, or had a birthday. When was it, Dennis? A couple days ago?
Yesterday.
Yeah.
I should probably put
Happy birthday, guys.
We should sing him like in Congress.
Yeah, there you go. Here, I'll put, here, look at Dennis. There's Dennis.
Hi, guys.
Say happy birthday to Dennis,
Okay.
everybody.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear John and Dennis. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, we're going to celebrate in Germany, guys.
Yeah.
We will be doing that. We will be celebrating.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
1 week paid vacation. I love it.
So the Germans are using the excuse of my showing up there to take advantage of their awesome benefits that they have as workers and take some time off and hang out with me, and I appreciate that. It's very nice. And thank you, Melissa. Look at everybody. I got to say hi to everybody. Amos and we got Upstate Raider and Cult of Media, Density. Thank you, Density, for your donation earlier. I saw that. Juliet, Nickel, how you doing? Kittens, Mittens. Wow, so many people here. All these people.
Yeah.
Deanna. Hi, Dina DeWall. Sorry, I always get your last name wrong. My bad. Hi, everybody. Wow. Nice of you to be here. Before I get into any of the stories, I just want to say, you are my therapy. If I didn't have this little group of people, and if we didn't have the 300 of you that show up to watch stuff, I would be batshit crazier than I am, and I don't know where we'd be. So thank you all. She's really, you saved my sanity.
Yeah, sorry, John. It's not only the 300 plus viewers, I think we are breaking the 11,000 mark with our Alexandra interview also, right?
That is true. We're about to 11,000 with the AOC interview on We the People. So that's pretty.
I got to confess that 5,000 of the views are coming from my side.
Markus is a big fan, and let's just show everybody here. That is,
look who's here in my house.
Markus got a full size AOC.
Yeah, I could not resist.
So that's pretty nice. So we got
Bernie in Oregon, and we got Alexandria in Düsseldorf.
Right. My set's pretty messed. Bernie, you can't see his head, but he's back there. He's always back there.
Yeah.
Right. He helps me in the orchard. Where's my hat? So yeah, and then Markus has the AOC. Although I want to get AOC with the look she was given Mansion.
Oh yeah. In the white dress, she was looking so beautiful. She was wonderful.
Yeah.
And I liked even more the photo which was taken when she was walking through the hall, and the I think it were young Republicans, were standing aside, and those strange looks in their faces. No one dared to say a word, and she was completely aware of this. It was brilliantly.
Yeah, she's scaring a lot of the boys.
Oh yeah,
really scaring a lot of the boys.
Yeah. This AOC cutout is not your replacement for your teddy bear for your bed. Or sorry, I have to fuck it up.
I'm hearing there's a bit of
No,
an echo
no, no,
on
no.
Markus. That just may be the room he's in. Sorry about that.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm waiting for the shack and yeah. This.
You want to explain that? He's waiting for shag carpet. Let's just make that clear.
The shag carpet.
Sherman had no idea what shagging was. He's never seen an Austin Powers movie, for fuck's sake. Just
you better watch one. They're pretty
yeah,
entertaining.
John told me, it was not. This is not my kind of humor, but I will learn
It's not
about.
mine either.
I will learn about shag carpets.
I enjoyed those, even though it's not my type of humor. I enjoyed the hell out of the Austin Powers series.
Okay, I'll watch them.
So I'm telling you, it's dumb American humor. You might not get it, but we'll get high enough. You'll appreciate it. Anyway, the point is, Markus. The point being, Marcus's room is very vast and empty, and has lots of hard surfaces. He needs the shag to kind of dampen the echo going on in there.
Exactly. And there's still no pictures on the walls because I cannot decide which one to put where, and it takes a little bit thinking process. And
I don't think about it. I just throw them up.
yeah. I don't know what to do about the Markus echo or why that's kicking in. Sorry, guys. It's just the room. Hi there, Jeffrey Pearson and Travis and Real Jingy. And it's good to see you guys. Osama, number 5. Brahm.
Osama.
So many people.
thank you, Oz,
Hi,
for the
Osama.
good voice.
Yeah. Al, Bozo the Clown. Wait a minute. I'm just scrolling back on comments here, and Bozo the Clown says, anyone remember 2015-2016 run and H.A. Goodman? Yes, both. And I'm glad to see that H.A. Goodman has kind of disappeared because
He went off the deep end.
Actually, Amos, he's a perfect example of what I was talking about. Somebody who basically did nothing for the progressive movement, nothing for the conversation except spew absolute bullshit, sensationalism headlines. Yet he got thousands and thousands of fucking views, got himself on CNN. Those are the people that I was talking about. It's just worthless to the revolution. Sorry, anybody that was an HA fan, he was.
Yes, I was for quite a long time, But
I was for a while, yeah.
But then it got too much, and it was not credible anymore. It was too many breaking news and stuff, and for
breaking
bullshit.
news that never happened.
Yes, yeah.
Over and over and over.
Yeah. Unfortunately, because I liked him, when he was close to the issues, he was good, But then. Yeah, he was taken away by his own thing, I guess, right?
Yeah. Well, he kept saying Hillary was going to get indicted, Hillary was going to get locked up, and that was his whole push.
Yeah.
It never happened.
Every day she was indicted. Every fucking show. I'm sorry, day, but this is the F-bomb show. Yeah.
You worried about cussing? Markus is worried about cussing. It's been that long. Jesus.
Yeah. I was for quite a time I was not online, right? I was not in the show.
I know. Everybody's been busy. We're going to talk about that. Okay, so moving on, because none of this really has anything to do with anything. We're just kind of going off on shit, really. It's the Saturday show. Good morning. That's what we're here for. I actually do have some content to talk about, and some of it's sort of important. So, and then we have some news. Amos and Markus and Christine have put together some content for you we'll talk about. But right now, the cover, I just want to... Yeah. I picked this because this is how I feel about the majority of the candidates we have in the race. I don't know how many fucking candidates we have, but they're basically giving us two options, right? Eat shit and die, or scrape by and eventually die. And we're looking at some candidates that are going to offer better than that, right? And we've actually moved past the whole litmus test. Yes, we have litmus tests, and they exist, and you're going to have to fucking pass them. Sorry, Dem Party. I'm going to bag on Kamala Harris, because she deserves it. I'm going to support Tulsi Gabbard. If Bernie doesn't run, I'll just say that right now. I'd prefer Tulsi over Elizabeth Warren. Sorry.
I agree
it's
too.
It's just me.
I second that.
That's news, John.
I know. But before we go there, and I'd love to hear what you guys think, because we've got a lot of progressives, and I've seen a lot of different progressives on Facebook and make statements one way or the other. But who would you, if Bernie doesn't run and throws all of his weight behind somebody else, which I don't think will happen, but if he does that, who do you think it's going to be? I think it'll be Tulsi. And who would you pick? I want to know what you guys. Kamala is definitely a cop.
You ask who it is going to be, or which would be your pick? I think Kamala Harris could maybe play the same role Hillary Clinton played in 2016, right? She's a female. She is black, and this could be the striking arguments for the Democratic establishment, right?
But Tulsi is also a woman of color, and you can't forget that.
But she hasn't gotten her own town hall on CNN.
Yes, she's not pushing.
True.
Yeah.
I'd have a hard time voting for Bernie Sanders if he had put Kamala as his running mate.
No. Well, now wait a minute. No. Let's stop. No, that's something I pushed.
Okay.
If for the unity of the party, Sanders Harris, are you saying no?
No.
Oh, come on.
Well,
No
because Bernie
no
is
way.
old enough where that would be a huge risk that she would end up being president, and we all know her ulterior motives and all that aren't in line with progressives at all.
If that were honestly, if that were what we put in front of me and Bernie was on the ticket, I'd vote for it. I think you would too if that was a choice. Jilly Love says no, Warren, unacceptable. Melissa H says Bernie should announce this week. I hope. Yeah, it's what we've been saying for a couple weeks, right? Right. I mean, look, how many of you sent him something? $5, $2, $7. I sent him a few bucks.
I sent him hundreds of dollars.
With a little message.
But I'd draw the line at Warren being his running mate. That's where I'd draw the line. No one right of Warren, period.
I could see that. Tulsi Nina, 2020. I don't know. 2024. Tulsi. I don't know.
There is a 2024.
Oh, we'll get into that. Anyway, okay. Other stuff. I was just curious what you guys are thinking. Just reading your comments. I think we do that. It's a little early, but Putin Schultz. What? Jilly Love Putin Schultz Tulsi already? Putin? Tulsi? I don't know where you're getting that. That's a little mad.
It's a joke. It's a joke.
Oh, is she joking? Okay. Sorry.
Yes, that's a joke.
Sorry.
Pretty sure. Pretty sure.
So. Look, I don't know what the latest conspiracy is. I know Maddow went like all out Russia on. I don't know what it was. It was insane. She just. Totally nutcase.
It was the cold snap.
Was it? Oh.
And Russia and China being in charge of our power grid and killing lots of people. That's what that was.
All right. Well, anyway, moving on. We'll talk about that. We got some other things to talk about. I just want to cover some things real quick as to where we're at. And it doesn't even feel right to go on this. All right. So we're headed into a new campaign season. Right, we've been through some iterations here as a group. Bernie 2016 TV ran through, all of 2016 and into the beginning of 2017, and then we turned into Political Revolution TV. 95% of Political Revolution TV's content has been lost, unfortunately. There was a lot of good content there, and we really worked hard at that as a different iteration of the group. And then we turned it into Uphill Media. And we were able to actually form a nonprofit, and we really worked last year on kind of trying to grow an audience within the West Coast and gain support and now we're heading into another phase of it. Through all of this stuff, there's a few things that remain consistent. I see some of the same names today as I did in 2015, and it's about the same amount of people that support us financially, about 300-400 people. And so thank you. I appreciate that. All of you that do that when you can. And I mean that you watch the show on a regular, consistent basis. Obviously, we get things like AOC videos that get a lot of views, but really the core audience, right? You guys, you're the reason we're still here. And that's a small group. For this channel. I mean, you compare it to, the other media networks out there. So I just want to say thank you so much because you're the reason we're here, right? And the fact that we have volunteers like Amos and Christine and Markus and that choose to come in and spend their time put together content for this, is the reason I'm still here, right, and doing this. But the truth is, if you noticed, I really haven't been doing as much, and I really haven't been as excited about shit. And those who work with me, like Markus and everybody I just mentioned, know that I've been pretty much a pain in the ass, bummer, depressed dude. And it's really not been fun. And it's because this is basically what my life has been reduced to, right? I spend all my time in this box for the most part. When I'm not in this box, I'm scrambling around to do the things that I'm supposed to do as a house husband, and I'm not a good one, right? And I saw this meme the other day about Netflix in 10 years basically having 2 channels, murder and cakes. Most people were okay with that. But it speaks to a greater problem that when all you do is consume the crap of the day, and you do it 24/7, and that's it, you eventually just become kind of rotten, you know. And I'm having a hard time coping with war, because we're at war right now. We're trying to fight to survive as a commoner, the 99%, right? Thank you, Osama number 5. Love this content, and all of you, thank you very much for your donation. Anyway, for me, I've reached the point again. This has happened a few times before, where I need to take some time, which is why the Germany trip is happening. I need to get the fuck out of here. I got to stop looking at the death and the annihilation and the lies and the bullshit in the news every day, and just remember that it may be selfish, but I'm going to take some time to go enjoy 2.5 weeks of life on planet Earth before it's gone. And the kids are still going to be in cages, and there's still going to be people getting raped, and there's still going to be horribleness happening in the government, and I'm not going to be able to do anything about it. I'm going to take 2.5 weeks. That's not really true. I'm going to go to Germany, and we're going to interview some people about climate. We're going to go to Amsterdam and talk to some people up there. We'll make it a working vacation. But I need a refresher, you know. So
yeah, you need inspiration. You need new perspectives. You need new impressions. Literally, impressions. Something, which impresses you, gives you new ideas, new energy. And this is why the trip is perfect now for you.
Yeah,
I think everybody needs to take some time and enjoy life while it's here. Just I've been sucked into the kind of depression of what's going on with the climate and feel out of control with it. So I think everybody needs to realign their priorities and enjoy the people around them and the time that they have. Like, seriously, it needs to become a priority to do that.
Yeah.
So, I don't blame you in the least, and I just think you should. You're doing the right thing.
No, thank you. I appreciate that.
In the past weeks, when John and I talked, we were all often talking about the 10, 12 years perspective of the scientists, until the complete catastrophe would happen. And we should, you're absolutely right, Chris. We should consider what really matters, right? And and this, I hope that I for myself will come to a conclusion what this concerns also.
It'll be good for all of us. And we'll bring you guys along with us. UHM family will come along to Germany. We'll have some fun. Markus made a whole bunch of slides. We're going to look at it. This is where I'm at, though. Brain full, defrag required. Germany's calling. Yeah. Right. And just understand, listen, I would not be able to do this at all. Okay. I don't get paid anymore. The donations that come into UHM go to Larry, and Larry uses them to pay all of our overhead bills that we've managed to accumulate over the last 2 years. So please keep donating. Thank you. But I declined taking a monthly stipend as I was last year, because we just need to get back to where we were. And because my grandmother, when she died, left me with a little money, and that money showed up a couple months ago. And honestly, if that hadn't happened, I wouldn't be going to Germany. None of this shit would be going down. So, you know, I'm really traveling. I'm taking this break thanks to my grandmother. And honestly, Bernie 2016 TV would not have existed were it not for my mother, what she left me, and my grandmother, and my wife. Without those three women, this wouldn't be here. So I just want to make that very clear. All right. They are the three primary financiers of this endeavor. And, So I really, really am humbled by that. And I'm looking at my mom and grandma in a picture up here since she knows where I'm going. So anyway, I'm going to enjoy Germany, and you guys are going to come along. Yes, I'm going to go to we'll get into the slides where Markus has like every fucking day listed out. It's ridiculous. But I want to say, before we're going to, I want to say thank you. I'm reading all your comments. I can't read them all back and say thank you, but I'm seeing your comments. And Juliet, I really appreciate your kind words. Hi, Daniel. Barbara, thank you so much. Just really, really appreciate it. Louise, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. We'll head into 2020, blazing in many ways. Let's put it that way. All right. So I'm done with that. Now the question is, where do you want to go with slides? Who wants to tackle the next topic? What do you want to go to? You want to talk about Germany, or do you want to talk about the climate crisis?
I only prepared Germany for today because I think this is slide-wise a longer topic, and I think this is the important news about Apple Media right now. And John is leaving. Mr. Ellis is going to Germany.
All right. We have some actual serious stuff to talk about. I feel like the serious stuff should happen, and then we can return later in the program to the fun trip to Germany. So, do you guys want to talk about all the things that are dying, or do you want to talk about bullshit going down? Amos is covering bullshit going down, and Christine's talking about dying things. It's great topics.
Take a chat poll. See who wants to talk about what first.
Tell you what, ladies first. Lead into it, Christine, with everything that's dying. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, cue the slide.
We're trying to be positive. All right.
Yeah. Sorry, there's no good news here. I'm sorry.
That's all right. So what's going down?
So go ahead and show the first slide. That's not my slide. There you go. That one. Put it full screen so people can read it, because I'm not going to read it. I'm just going to basically give you a summary of what it is, and it's basically a research paper, and I put that in the links so you can see what it is, but it's really scary. This is a recent one. It was in November of 2018, and it basically talks about the domino effect after one species goes extinct, and I'm going to show an example of that. And it's like a chain reaction, and the consumers will end up suffering. And as you know, humans are the largest consumers. And when we kill off the food supply for one species, it's just a domino effect. And eventually we are going to be the ones that suffer from it. So I have a perfect example of how this works with the sunflower starfish. And that would be the next slide.
Oh, all right. I will follow your lead.
Okay. All right. So this is a sunflower starfish, and there's a zombie disease. It's killing starfish linked to rising ocean temperatures. And I was watching videos they have like time-lapse videos over 7 hours of what's actually happening to these fish. And it is insane. Their arms start falling off, and then they just kind of melt into nothing. It's a horrific disease. It's killing all these sunflower starfish, and then it goes to the problem that they are the main predator of the sea urchins, and the sea urchins' main food supply is the kelp. Yeah, this is a 3-week difference between the population of the sunflower starfish. And as you can see in the one slide, There's gobs of them. And this is just 3 weeks difference between these two slides. That's how fast that they're disappearing. And one hasn't been seen in 3 years below Washington. So it's pretty devastating.
I was going to say, Christine, these are common in, or were common in, like the Puget Sound, right?
Mm-hmm.
I saw these when I was scuba diving. We went specifically to see these. This is very cool, and this is sad to hear that they're being annihilated by this disease.
Yeah, it's that, and it's contributed to the ocean's warming. So it's man-made, it's man-caused, and it's disturbing.
So what are the things? So what affects? You said this was a cascade. So what is the cascade of ecosystem? What did they eat that,
The sea urchin. Their main prey was the sea urchin, and now the sea urchins went out of control, and they basically plowed down the kelp forest.
Okay.
So, which also sustains a whole lot of other animals in the sea, and so it's a domino, it's a chain reaction, and just this one species pretty much going extinct locally. And that's what that research paper talks about is first it will happen locally, and then it will expand tremendously.
Right.
So the sea star being extinct and allowing the sea urchin to go crazy on the kelp, and then the kelp that feeds so many other species is just gone. And they haven't seen one of these in 3 years below Washington. I know I just said that, but
that's all right. It's good to reiterate.
It's amazing that this is happening and they're not being protected. I mean, I don't think there's a thing they can do at this point to save them. But once the sea kelp's gone, that's like habitat for young fish and all that to live, and now it's gone.
Chris, if I understand correctly, it's also the kelp is responsible for a lot of the oxygen production.
Yes, it is. Yeah, absolutely. You are so correct, Amos. So it's going to affect a lot of the sea life, and I think it already is, and that's where it goes into the wells. The first one is the orca, which has to do with people overfishing the salmon. And there's a lawsuit threatened to protect the Chinook salmon, which is the major prey of the orca in the Pacific Ocean, near Washington and all that. Are you familiar with what's going on with this, John?
Nope.
No, really? Because
Nope.
It's up by you. So I thought
that's.
I don't know.
No.
You're in that area, so I thought you would hear about it. But they've been overfishing the Chinook salmon, and that's causing the orcas to starve. Go ahead and go to the next slide.
Sure.
See, this is like the first one is a healthy one, and so like 1 out of 3 are emaciated.
Wow.
And they're down to a population of 74 in that area. They're the southern resident orca whales, and that's where it's mostly happening. The ones up north are moving further north where they couldn't go before because of their fins. They're just pushing northward. So they're actually quite a healthy population right now up north, but they're going to really quickly consume the food supply up north, and the seals and all that are going to be gone, and then they're going to starve too. It's just a chain reaction.
Well,
and
I'll be, what I have heard about that, I will say, is not specifically tied to the orca population, but that besides overfishing, there was a lot of the salmon population that was completely annihilated in the last seasons because of the weather. Mm-hmm. So, there's that too. The population's less anyway.
And then you get the extreme climate change with the swings in temperatures that are just not easy for animals to tolerate.
Right. And I'm Around has a statement. It's true. It's a big issue here in Seattle. Amos in Seattle. Need to remove some dams to help the salmon, and of course the interests are opposed. Right. We need the dams. Dams are a bad idea for the most part.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, they interrupt the whole entire ecosystems, and that's the whole problem. Is we're interfering too much in the natural ecosystems instead of working with the natural ecosystems, and it's come to a critical turning point where it's just going to cause a huge chain reaction. And I learned this in 3rd grade science, and I don't understand why people don't get what's going on.
Oh, they do. They just don't care.
Well, yeah, I guess they don't care, but if they had kids, how do you not care? I don't understand.
There are dams, though, that are designed in a way, especially I've seen one in Scotland. I visited it, and they have these ladders where the fish can go through parallel to the dam, and that kind of allows them a flow.
Sure.
Yeah, and I've even seen people use these chutes that they developed where they're catching salmon, they're trying to jump and putting them in chutes and shoot them over the dams. I mean, but that's unsustainable. It is. And with our overpopulation and our overconsumption, the Chinook salmon is also going extinct because they're overfishing.
Right.
And the biggest the lawsuit that's being threatened is because they're not regulating that population, and it's further causing damage to the already endangered orca. So just one thing right after another, and there's a lot of ocean life that's dying and washing up on shores that's just not reported. And I mean, not to the scale it should. I mean, it should be the breaking news, like that you hear with one little conspiracy after the other. It's breaking news. But this is huge. It's like a meteor coming at us and no one cares. If there was actual meteor coming at us, maybe they'd do breaking news. But this is the same thing. It may be happening slightly slower, but it's the same thing.
Well, as Daniel pointed out in chat here, the media is too busy covering blackface reports because we've got so much racism going on in the country at the moment. And that's big sensational news to hit. Not that it's not something that shouldn't be reported, but, there's a lot of shit going down. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you're right. It's the meteor.
Yeah, they're not focusing on the right thing. I mean, breaking news every day on the same issue over and over and over again. And people turn off their brains after that. But this is what should be breaking news. Things like this, 80 deep water whales have been found dead on the coasts of Scotland and Ireland since early August. So that's only a couple months. It's 10 times that of previous years, 10 times.
Right.
So, yeah. And they call it an unusual mortality event that could have killed up to 1,000 beaked whales in the Atlantic in recent months. 1,000, because what you find up on shore isn't even a small percentage of what's actually happening in the ocean, especially with the deep water whales.
Right.
Chris, to sum it up.
What, Dennis?
Chris, to sum it up, why people don't care. If you indoctrinate your population for decades around the world, consumption is good, the economy has to grow, and so on and so on.
And you have to grow your population to grow your economy, which we should be pushing just the opposite, because our earth can only sustain so many people. And that's such an unpopular thing to say, but it's absolutely true. We can only sustain so many humans on this planet and have food for them. And if you have a petri dish that's full of bacteria and you watch it grow and it's doubling and doubling and doubling, I mean, once it's half full, the next day it's done. Like you have no more.
All right. We can talk about the overpopulation conspiracy theory, but I say it's
not a conspiracy theory.
That we have plenty of space. We have plenty of means, resources to take care of billions of people on this planet. We're just not doing it right. So I don't buy the overpopulation theory.
Well, if we use permaculture and all that, yeah, fine.
So, but that's a whole nother discussion. Let's wrap up your original topic here, and then we got to move into Amos. So, what do you got left here? We got who else is dying? Oh, there's more whales.
New Zealand whales. Yeah. In New Zealand, there's been just a massive amount of whales beaching. And there's a Native American tribe, Native New Zealand tribe that is just disgusted with it, and they're not listening to them. They're dying because of all the pollution and all the warming of the ocean. And they believe they go to the beach to go home to their ancestors. They call them aunties there, but to their mother ancestors. and they just go there to die because they can't breathe and live in the ocean anymore. So it's really sad, that those people have to watch that. And even though they use a lot of the whale beachings have happened on and off, and they consider it kind of a gift, and that the old ones went there to die, and and they would kind of like a blessing. I don't know what you'd help, and they would utilize all the bone and all that to make religious carvings and stuff like that. But they would never go out and kill them. But now it's happening so much that they are just furious that man is doing that to the sea and killing it.
Agreed. It's terrible. It's horrible. I'm not sure where you're going at with the plastics biodegrade down to molecules that are not seen. That's absolutely not true.
What? Wait.
I don't know, but we'll get into that later. That's another thing. Don't worry about it. I was just reading the comments. I just thought that was interesting.
Oh, okay. That was comments, not me. I'm like, what?
Yeah, no. We have a person named Human in the comments. I want to find out what that was about. I was curious. Anyway, well presented, Christine.
Thank you.
The point here, though, is that the numbers, you're talking about a few. You grabbed like a handful, but we know that there's so many other ones. I've seen other ones, reported in the last couple weeks, last month. It's just, we are in the 6th grade extinction, right? We caused it. This is what happens. And we're waiting for that tipping point, right? We could have already hit it. We just don't know. We're waiting for scientists to get back on that.
There's a lot of scientists that believe we've already hit that point because of global dimming, but that's a topic for another day.
It is. It absolutely is. Now, we're going to cut over to Amos, who's going to talk to us about BS.
But by the way, I do think that we've definitely hit the tipping point. I don't know if we've hit the no return point. Those are two different things. But yeah.
Okay. That's I think we just need to have a whole discussion on climate apocalypse, and we'll just talk about
that. Would be a really good discussion to have. I think we should have that.
The ratings. Oh, the ratings. All right. Amos, take us into. Thank you, Christine. That was really wonderful. Appreciate that. Talk to us about chickens.
First, before I start that, I just wanted to say, anybody who's watching us, if you like the show, there's a couple of things you could do. One is there's a little, if you look down there is right by the subscribe button, there's a little bell. If you click on that, you will be reminded every time that there's a new content on our channel. And the other thing is like share whenever you share that information and there's a new viewer, that's a multiplier, and that will bring more attention to the topics that we raise and help everybody out. So with that said, I just wanted to launch into this. The next topic that I looked at was no time to pee or poop. And that is basically based on Oxfam US investigation that was done about poultry workers. It turned out that most of the large corporations are kind of like abusing their workers. They're not allowing them to go to have potty breaks, basically. So in some cases, they have forced workers to wear diapers so that they wouldn't have to visit the bathroom. So it's not a very appetizing thought to begin with, but more so it's awful for the workers. And you could see that there's a quote here: supervisors mock the workers, needs to ignore their requests. They threaten punishment of firing, workers wait inordinately long times, an hour or more, and then race to accomplish their tasks within a certain time frame or risk discipline. In one case, a manager was quoted saying, you can go to the bathroom and then from there on to the HR department, meaning you'll be fired if you go to the bathroom. So that has been exposed, and Purdue, I believe, has denied it, completely demanded that the investigators hand out the names of the people who produced that information. And I think Tyson said that they would change everything and they would fix the problem. Nevertheless, it's like this whole thing has happened because the industry has grown. There's over 8 billion chicken being eaten in the US alone a year. 8 billion with a B, which caused this industry to really ramp up. They're like working at full capacity, and there's various facets to that. It's the humaneness to the workers. It's the humaneness to the animals that are treated like objects. There's the Frankenstein element. It's just what's being done with them, with the GMO and the hormones and everything. It's not a very wholesome image. And finally, there's the environmental one, because you have these methane releases that are half of the world's methane release, and you can imagine how much that impacts things. So I know the conservatives have made a point out of mocking AOC and the Green New Deal, saying that it's focused on cow farts. But the truth is that a lot of this is really related to the husbandry, commercial industry, and it is an issue.
I agree. I mean, for someone who is still an omnivore, right? We definitely have we definitely need to end industrialized farming, right, in general, and that whether you're vegan or vegetarian or don't even believe in that, the average American consumes an outrageous amount of meat, right? And I myself realized that I was raised that way, right? I think a lot of us were, right?
Yep.
And I've worked to change our eating habits. You can still eat meat or different. I eat a lot more fish, right? A lot more shellfish if you're not worried about radiation. But and now they have these plant-based products like the Beyond Burger, right? Beyond Meat Burger, stuff like that.
It's excellent, by the way. You wouldn't know you're not eating meat.
No, it's good stuff. It's good stuff. I still buy a roast. I still get chicken from a box that claims that these chickens were cared for really nicely before they were killed, right? But if we really put forth an effort to change all of these systems, that it could be changed. But we were all raised to believe that we needed to eat meat in our meals, that it was part of a healthy diet. And I think we're coming to the realization as a culture that's not true. Right?
Yeah, I was raised to you eat meat every day at dinner. Every single day you needed meat. And now it's like once a week and tops, and also it's local, and it's not factory farmed meat that I eat at all ever. I'm done with that. I think more people need to do that, and that'll help a little bit. Everybody needs to do their part, that's for sure.
You don't have that choice if you're eating out, though.
No, you don't. But we don't eat out, really. I mean, only when I'm out of town.
What do you mean? You don't have those choices, Amos?
Well, the restaurants are using industrial farming. They're not going to use like certified.
There's some restaurants that are focused more on local and natural and farm raised.
Yeah, I was going to say there's definitely chains that are popping up that are trying to do that. Sustainable foods and stuff like that, and you pay more for it, but that's that's usually.
I had once a restaurant. I bought from a local farmer my meat, my vegetables, my eggs, everything. So therefore, it's a choice. What kind of restaurant do you want to have? Do you want to have a fast food restaurant? Then of course, price concerns and what you can price in your customers. Therefore, you go with the cheap one. But For example, I was lucky. I was the only a restaurant around, so therefore the people came to me, and I was fortunate enough to buy good quality food and prepare it and so on. And also, we have to change a mentality or culture around food. What do you put in your mouth? We spend billions and billions of dollars for nonsense, and don't spend it and invest it in food, because what's keep us alive. Instead, we buy iPods and all the other stuff.
It's also important to try to raise your own food if at all possible. I mean, not everybody's in that position to do that, but I just started seeds today or not today, 2 weeks ago for radishes and beets, and we have eggs. We have 4 chickens that supply us eggs, and neighbors.
Yeah, we got neighbors.
neighbors. Yeah, I mean, but that's what anyone who can produce it and share it is helping the environment.
Right. But and we're all stealing this away from Amos, but really it's a good topic because
Sorry.
what we're talking about here is more localized. Back to you, Amos, but we're talking about localized,
Yeah,
not
sorry,
industrialized, right? No, not you, Christine. I ran away with it, but.
Oh, okay.
The problem is that with the type of demand that we have right now, it would be impossible to step back into localized farming only. It just would not be feasible. So the key here is to reduce the intake, the demand of the amounts of meat. That we need.
Definitely have to reduce the amount. Yeah.
And I think it's not all bad news. There's been some news from I think it was Idaho, where they managed to strike down the gag rule, which disallowed journalists or people to get into these facilities and shoot video or record stuff and then share that to the public to show how those animals are being treated or what's being done, how the facilities work, how unappetizing it is. And they've been, up till now, they've been banned from doing it. And right now a court has struck, it's the first time where a court has struck this gag rule down, which means that we'll see much more of these disturbing videos.
Wow. That's going to have a major effect on the industry.
It may. We hope.
That's pretty cool, actually.
But this all could only happen because you have such loose laws in America. I, for example, work for Amazon. Amazon is a big boogeyman in America and in other countries. But in Germany, it would never happen that I can't go to the toilet or something like this. So, yeah. Because in our constitution, the first sentence of the constitution, the dignity of a human being can't be touched. And therefore, there are all laws concerning working and so on are based on this. Therefore, I can't believe it, but I hear you.
All right.
You're right.
It's not. What?
No, he's right. He's right about the fact that it's not just confined to this industry. I mean, you brought out Amazon. Amazon has been known to not install air conditioning in warehouses because of the cost, and instead they had a couple of ambulances parked right outside of the facilities to just catch those who faint at the heat waves during the heat waves. So.
Nice.
Also, didn't they have a strike there where Amazon was trying to get the police to intervene and make the people work?
Yeah, that was in Spain.
Oh, that was in Spain. Okay, but yeah, we do have super lax workers' rights laws. I know I've been through that battle for 4 years with the #1 privately owned company in the world, and that was quite the battle. And I didn't have the problem. Well, yeah, I kind of did, but a different way. But when I worked for Walmart for a year at the distribution center, they did the same thing where you couldn't go to the bathroom. You would miss your productivity goals if you went to the bathroom. So you were forced to pretty much do that or getting written up and fired eventually because, yeah, taking that time away, they made the bathroom so far away from your workspace. It took 7 minutes each way, and you were required to do 3,500 cases a day. And there's no way you'd even make that if you took 10 minutes away, 5 minutes away. And yeah, it was ridiculous. I'm glad I only had to work there a year, but it's a long story how I ended up there. Much better position now. But that was, they take advantage of you here. Sorry, Amos. I don't mean to intervene. Go ahead.
No, yeah, you're totally right. From this, I wanted to jump onto we discussed the candidates, the presidential candidates, and I wanted to highlight a couple of other candidates that were kind of like being touted as partly progressive or
No. Who?
Yeah, so.
Certainly not this one.
Well, that's the thing. So there's a video that just popped up that shows her bragging about a policy that she's introduced as a prosecutor in their state regarding truancy, and I'd like you to play that video because it will change how you view this person. You have it lined up?
I do.
John.
So, not that anybody in our audience needs any other reason to dislike Kamala, but here's another one.
I would not be standing here were it not for the education I received. And I know many of us will say the same thing. And I believe a child going without an education is tantamount to a crime. So I decided I was going to start prosecuting parents for truancy. Well, this was a little controversial in San Francisco. And frankly, my staff went bananas. They were very concerned because we didn't know at the time whether I was going to have an opponent in my re-election race. But I said, look, I'm done. This is a serious issue, and I've got a little political capital, and I'm going to spend some of it. And this is what we did. We recognized that in that initiative, as a prosecutor and law enforcement, I have a huge stick. The school district has got a carrot. Let's work in tandem around our collective objective and goal, which is to get those kids in school. So, to that end, on my letterhead, now let me tell you something about my letterhead. When you're the DA of a major city in this country, usually the job comes with a badge. And there is often an artistic rendering of said badge on your stationery. So I sent a letter out on my letterhead to every parent in the school district, outlining the connection that was statistically proven between elementary school truancy, high school dropouts, who will become a victim of crime, and who will become a perpetrator of crime. We sent it out to everyone. A friend of mine actually called me and he said, Kamala, my wife got the letter. She freaked out. She brought all the kids into the living room, held up the letter, said, if you don't go to school, Kamala's going to put you and me in jail. Yes, we achieved intended effect. I would not be...
Holy fuck.
It shows you, at the very least, a lack of understanding of what poor people are struggling with, working people. At the worst, it's just like a lack of compassion, a complete compassion. Because what do you think is going to happen? You put a parent of a kid that's already missing school, and obviously for reasons that like the parent couldn't handle them, and they were not in an optimal setting. And you put that parent in jail. What do you think is going to happen to the kids? Is it going to help them or is it going to harm them? And Kamala was asked about this. Kamala was asked about it later, and she was saying, well, that was kind of like a threat to get people to cooperate. But in fact, they have prosecuted a bunch of people, and a bunch of people went to jail. One woman went to jail for 180 days, single mom.
That's ridiculous.
So
yeah, it's ridiculous. I'm sorry.
So it's ridiculous. I am all for education. That's been a very strong value in my family and in my culture, and I totally agree with that. But that is just the wrong thing to do, and the fact that she couldn't tell, that she couldn't see that is very disturbing. I don't want a person like that as a president, regardless of any other progressive issues. I mean, that's a window to her soul. So.
Yeah.
I've seen that 3 or 4 times, and it just never ceases to shock me the way she talks about it. I was a single mom for a while, for quite a while, and there was times when my kids needed to help me at home because there was just so much responsibility with all the horses and the animals that need to be cared for, and I'd make sure they'd get their assignments and do them and all that. It's like every situation's different, and to punish parents and kids for just trying to survive on a daily basis just doesn't make any sense. And it just shows how she's out of touch with people who are struggling. And there's some kids that actually do work and make money to help support the family instead of going to school. I've seen that happen. So yeah, I don't agree with that tactic. I think support on the other end, helping people get through their problems, would be a better tack to take.
Wow. I did not see this clip before, but honestly, she should not run for president. She should run for a role in Hollywood, for the bad witch role in a fairy tale movie or something like this.
Or a dog catcher.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Unbelievable. And yeah, so yeah, she cannot become president. This is Hillary. This is Hillary too. You know, this is the same missing compassion for people, right? It's the same. Yeah, she is not connected to people. Absolutely not. She's completely fully of herself, and that's all what's in her interest. And no way. We gotta prevent this. Somehow we gotta prevent her.
There's no way I'd vote for her, even attached to a Bernie ticket. I'm sorry.
No fucking way.
No. I just want to
No way.
rudely
It's
interrupt here
interesting, though,
to
that
thank
all
people
these-
for. I'm sorry, Amos. Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Oh no. Just want to thank Oz for $7 and Al for $20 for your donations.
Yeah.
What'd you guys say here? Al said,
Thank
"Happy
you,
birthday,
guys.
John." I appreciate that. And Christine, Oz says, "For Christine's wonderful segment that has me twice as depressed as I was when I woke up this morning." Thank you.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Not as depressed as I've been, because that's only not even a quarter of what I've been researching. So sorry.
That's all right, Daniel. See this. Everybody needs to look. I meant to go deeper into this, a sidetrack here, because Daniel is saying doing the Appalachian Trail this summer. Fuck it all for a while. We all have to listen. In war, soldiers supposed to come home, take a break, then go back to killing things, right? And in the revolution, we are soldiers, and we have to take a break and clear our souls and our brains of all this horror that we consume, and then try to deal with, and then get back to it. We're useless if we let ourselves just become, angry fucking husks of rage, and which is where I'm at. But that's we're all there, and I know Oz and I have had many conversations in Facebook and just about being really fucking depressed and just sick of this shit. This is
You start to feel helpless. You just do.
yeah. And
Well,
but
we
this
have
is
to push.
what almost
Yeah.
go ahead.
We have to push on. There's just no choice. What's better?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're lying down and dying, like.
Yeah, and I appreciate all your nice comments. It's about Amos's work and Christine's work and Markus. It really helps, you guys. Really
It
helps.
keeps me going when I go back and read the chat. So thank you guys,
Yeah.
all of you.
Thank you.
Yeah. We have a great audience.
There's one more slide there, John. It's I looked into the oil and gas donations over the previous year, and another candidate that's selling himself kind of as a progressive is Beto
Oh,
O'Rourke.
yeah, Beto. We already, as I saw
Well,
one
we
person
knew-
say,
we
we've already
know-
trashed Beto. He's done. We fried him. He's cooked.
Yes, well, we
Yes.
have, but most of America has not yet realized the stuff that's involved with him. He was asked if he was progressive. He said, "I don't know."
No.
Yeah.
Well, I dug this.
He's taken
This is the top 5 donation receivers for 2017 to 2018. from the oil and gas industry, and you can see that Beto is number 2 after Cruz. He's the only Democrat that is in this top selection, which tells you a lot. And there was another, like, there is another slide that shows how many Democrats compared to Republicans accepted. So we have a lot of times we have a lot of harsh criticism against Democrats, but you can see the ratio there, and it's clear which of the parties is worse. In regards
all right.
to
So what I'd have to show you, Amos, is where they hide their fossil fuel donations, because they basically just get them from different places. There's no, I could run you through Pete DeFazio's portfolio and show you how that works. Because basically,
it would be interesting on a topic. Yep.
Yeah, it is. The Democrats have a better way of it coming around the corner. All right. Republicans are like, we will take your fossil fuel money. Thank you, sir. Right. And then you've got some Democrats that are just
eat shit and die.
Yeah, eat shit and die. Right. It's the eat shit and die party. Yes. Yeah. This is yeah. I love the fact that you call him Beto. I like that. I'm calling Beto from now on.
I like Beto.
Beto. Yeah, that's good.
Beto. I love that. Sorry, that was bad.
No, that was
No,
perfect.
no, no.
Beat off.
Uncharacteristic for me.
Beat
Sorry.
off. Beto.
You are allowed to this.
That's the new tagline. I love that. And I think he'll.
Oh, I'm embarrassed now. I'm turning bright red. Oh my gosh. I can't believe I said that.
Room Kana. I know you mean
Turning
but
Beto red.
Yeah.
can I just say that it's been fun with all of the new names we have in politics, and we have a lot of cool, interesting names of people. A lot of them I can't pronounce still, and it makes for so much fun listening to people.
And Beto or Bedoff is still more creative than whatever Trump would come up with, right?
Well, it might have been what Jilly Love just posted, Butto. That would be a Trump.
Butto, yeah.
Good job, Jilly.
Kamala is Beavis and he's Butto, yeah.
All right. Now, see, news that matters. Covering news topics seriously. We're at 11:05. I don't think we're going to talk about Davos, other than you guys saw that shit that went down there in the elitists and the.
Yeah, we have a couple of links there.
We do.
Encouraged to look at them. Yeah.
There's also a link to the C-SPAN. Did I even put the links in the description? I don't remember. If I put them.
I don't see them. I'm not sure.
I will add them after we go off air. Just give me a few minutes. I'll get them in there. It's my bad this morning. Sorry.
Make sure you put that research paper on there.
Well, if it's in the rundown, then I will get it in there.
It is.
Right. My bad. We'll get you these. I feel bad now. We'll get you these links. If you haven't seen AOC's C-SPAN, we're going to run it now. I don't care. It's so good.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Give it to us.
Since Markus bothered to, put the nice AOC in the background, maybe I'll just go back and forth between that and. Anyway, this is so good. I sent this to my dad.
What did he say?
My dad. I send this to 4 elders in Longmont, Colorado. I send them political stuff. And those of you who know my history, we've talked about them before. My father, Dan Benavidez, Mike Butler, who's the chief of public safety, which includes chief of police for Longmont, Colorado, which is one of the most progressive cities in a fucking world right now. And I sent it to a guy named Henry. They're just these elders in Longmont that I have a lot of respect for them, and I try to give them glimpses of what's actually going on in the real world and not the crap they see on MSM, right? So I send my dad this link. I'm like, Dad, you've got to watch this. It's AOC. She's amazing. I've been telling you about her, blah, blah. And he writes back, I sent my computer into Staples a month ago to have it fixed. Since then, no links. No links. He can't click on a single link. They don't like.
Oh my God.
It's like, that really leaves it difficult for you to do much on your computer.
I'm pretty sure he was mocking you, John.
No, you don't know my dad. So anyway, we're going to watch it now. And when I visit my father later on this year, I will play him so much content. Enjoy
Oh, yeah.
AOC explaining just how corrupt our system is, because my God, it is corrupt.
Chair recognizes Ms. Ocasio-Cortez of New York for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Chair. So let's play a game. Let's play a lightning round game. I'm going to be the bad guy, which I'm sure half the room would agree with anyway. And I want to get away with as much bad things as possible, ideally to enrich myself and advance my interest, even if that means putting my interests ahead of the American people. So, Mrs. Hobart Flynn. Oh, and by the way, I have enlisted all of you as my co-conspirators. So you're going to help me legally get away with all of this. So, Mrs. Hobart Flynn, I want to run. If I want to run a campaign that is entirely funded by corporate political action committees, is there anything that legally prevents me from doing that?
No.
Okay, so there's nothing stopping me from being entirely funded by corporate PACs, say from the fossil fuel industry, the healthcare industry, big pharma. I'm entirely 100% lobbyist PAC funded. Okay, so let's say I'm a really, really bad guy, and let's say I have some skeletons in my closet that I need to cover up so that I can get elected. Mr. Smith, is it true that you wrote this article, this opinion piece for the Washington Post entitled, "These payments to women were unseemly, that doesn't mean they were illegal"?
Well, I can't see the piece, but I wrote a piece under that headline in the Post, so I assume that's right.
Okay, great. So, green light for hush money. I can do all sorts of terrible things. It's totally legal right now for me to pay people off. And that is considered speech. That money is considered speech. So I use my special interest dark money funded campaign to pay off folks that I need to pay off and get elected. So now I'm elected, now I'm in. I've got the power to draft, lobby, and shape the laws that govern the United States of America. Fabulous. Now, is there any hard limit that I have, perhaps Mrs. Hobart Flynn, is there any hard limit that I have in terms of what legislation I'm allowed to touch? Are there any limits on the laws that I can write or influence, especially if I'm based on the special interest funds that I accepted to finance my campaign and get me elected in the first place?
There's no limit.
So there's none. So I can be totally funded by oil and gas. I can be totally funded by Big Pharma, come in, write Big Pharma laws, and there's no limits to that whatsoever.
That's right.
Okay, so awesome. Now, Mr. Mirabani, the last thing I want to do is get rich with as little work possible. That's really what I'm trying to do as the bad guy, right? So is there anything preventing me from holding stocks, say, in an oil or gas company, and then writing laws to deregulate that industry and cause, that could potentially cause the stock value to soar and accrue a lot of money in that time?
You could do that.
So I could do that. I could do that now with the way our current laws are set up. Yes?
Yes.
Okay, great. Okay, so my last question is, or one of my last questions, I guess I'd say, is it possible that any elements of this story apply to our current government and our current public servants right now?
Yes.
Yes.
So we have a system that is fundamentally broken. We have these influences existing in this body, which means that these influences are here in this committee shaping the questions that are being asked of you all right now. Would you say that that's correct,
Yes.
Mr. Marabani or Mr. Schaub?
Yes.
All right, so one last thing, Mr. Schaub. In relation to congressional oversight that we have, the limits that are placed on me as a congresswoman, compared to the executive branch and compared to, say, the President of the United States, would you say that Congress has the same sort of standard of accountability? Is there more teeth in that regulation in Congress on the president, or would you say it's about even, or more so on the federal?
In terms of laws that apply to the president,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, there's just almost no laws at all that apply to the president.
So I'm being held, and every person in this body is being held to a higher ethical standard than the President of the United States.
That's right, because there are some ethics committee rules that apply to you.
And it's already super legal, as we've seen, for me to be a pretty bad guy. So it's even easier for the President of the United States to be one, I would assume.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You can see the disbelief in their eyes when they're asked this question. And they have to answer.
It's like, don't say that out loud. Don't say that out loud.
Yeah, and in the German media, she was celebrated for this. I think there was an article in the Zeit or in the FAZ, and they celebrated her, and they came headlining with Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez destroys exposes the corruption in America's policy in 5 steps. You know, it was so simple and easy, and yeah. Today was also another article about her on the Spiegel Online. You know, also a celebration article. She got more and more popular here in Germany, also.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Guys,
I never seen that. Thank you for bringing that.
Yeah,
by the way.
that's cool. I'll be honest. Hang on, Dennis. Bernie's been saying this stuff for a long time, but he hasn't been saying it like AOC, right?
Yes.
AOC gets ratings that Bernie doesn't get, and now AOC gets a platform that Bernie doesn't get, right? And so it's a little frustrating, and I imagine it's probably frustrating for Bernie, but it's good that she's.
I don't think that he is frustrated. I think that, as we Bernie know, most importantly for him is that the things that the matters with the people really concerned are getting dealt with, right?
Yeah. I would hope so. Brahm, I just want to chime in. Brahm said her final question should be, "And what are you all doing to help me fix this shit?" And I thought, yeah. And second to that last question should have been, "And how many of you does this fucking apply to right here in this goddamn room? How many of you are bought and sold right here?"
Great question.
You know.
And yes, John, you too. That's great. Yeah, that should have been follow up there for sure. But it was good. I mean, you don't hear that, and that's what we need here.
What, Amos?
We need
What,
more
Amos?
like the Parliament. I wanted to hear booing during Trump's speech during the bad parts. There was no booing. There was a lot of sitting on your hands, but there wasn't booing, and that would. In the Parliament, that would have happened. There would have been booing.
Yeah, we don't have Parliament.
I
know that.
I know, but God, I want that so bad. Am I the only one that wants that? That I want them to be genuine, and
we just need to fill it with AOCs and not a bunch of old dead white dudes.
But I saw AOC. I watched that whole thing. I actually watched Jimmy Dore's coverage of it because that was more fun. Because he got all mad and yelled during it. But yeah, she was sitting on her hands and not applauding, but she wasn't. I just wanted to see them boo it. I mean, the parts that were flat out lies and misrepresentations. I just wanted to see.
Did you not see her Latina laser eyes? I mean, she pretty much said everything she needed to say with her face.
Yeah, I seen that. Yes, but I wanted more.
Come on, Nancy clapped, and everybody thought it was a fucking sarcastic clap. Wasn't that resistance? That's huge resistance.
No.
Come on.
This was posing. This is like a 80s hair band, John.
Okay, so Nancy's the Motley Crue of what's?
Yes, the Motley Crue of politics.
That's not even good. No, it's not even that good. The Warrant.
No.
Would have to go.
The Scorpions.
No, don't you
And
ever.
I'm not a heavy metal person, but Motley Crue beats the hell out of Nancy Pelosi.
Scorpions were not a hair band. Never.
Yes, okay.
No
okay,
way.
Okay. I wanted to see your reaction.
I don't understand that.
Give you a little bit of energy,
If you have a lot of hair, aren't you a hair band? I don't.
Oh no, it's a type of hair band. It requires a certain type of music, and it's like Poison.
Yeah.
Poison.
Yeah.
You wouldn't put Poison in the same ranks as the fucking Scorpions, would you? No. No, ever.
No.
No.
I don't
No,
know.
no,
well
no,
enough.
no, no.
And listen,
I give you this, John. I give you this.
this is the important stuff. This is what matters. Not dead animals, not the extinction of our species, but whether you would categorize the scorpions with poison when you're defining fucking 80s hair bands. I just want to make that clear that this is what we're here for.
Thank you for making that clear, John. Now you're going to have to educate me on what the difference is because I have no clue. I was raised with old country music and I don't know any different. My brothers listen to hair bands and.
All right, it's all right. We're not attacking you here. Everybody can have their own. It's okay. You know, the great thing about America is we get to define hair bands on our own. Jeffrey, here's a quiet riot. Seriously?
And I already succeeded to offend John with the hairband Scorpions comparison. And I sent Chris a couple of days before, I sent her Cliff Barnes and the Fear of Winning with Nobody's Got an Asshole Like a Cowboy. She was completely enthusiastic about it, right?
She was.
That's a bad example. I'm sorry. Well, maybe it's a good example of the new country, but not a good example of the old hippie country people, the outlaw country people. So I don't want to be associated with that particular.
All right.
Yeah.
I thought so.
Going back to AOC, though, I just wanted to point out that she's come as close as possible to kind of expose it without like drawing these people directly into it. She's very diplomatic. I've been very impressed with the way she's responded to Pelosi's Green Dream sayings and so forth, and she's just very, very cautious as to what she says, and at the same time delivering a very effective rebuke.
Yes, yes. She knows exactly when it comes to the point where she's got to hit back. She knows this, and this is great.
I'm very impressed with her. I am very, very impressed with her so far. It's strangely enough, a lot of people on the progressive side that think that she has some issues, that she's establishment and just a plant. I don't see that personally myself yet. I don't know. I'm still skeptical of everybody at this point, but everything I'm seeing so far, I'm really pleased with. And as long as people are delivering the right message at the right time and their record matches their rhetoric, I'm okay. I mean, I'm not interested in the backroom talking that some people are doing. I'm just not interested in that. I want to see what they're actually doing and what they're actually saying and make sure they match up. So that's what I'm looking for. And I don't know. Maybe I'm weird. I don't know.
And if you see that Michael Moore is pushing her very, very heavily, you know.
Oh, yeah. Didn't he want to go for 2020? She's not even old enough.
He said, Michael Moore said, look who's the figure in the Democratic Party right now. You know, there's only one name, and this is AOC. AOC is the leader of the Democratic Party. Okay, it might be a little bit too much, you know, but it shows in what direction it changed, and it changed quickly. It is not even 4 weeks since she came into office, you know. And look what she already achieved. How much trouble she caused. What she promised before, that she is there to cause trouble, and she's doing this, and she's doing this so clever and smart, and it's wonderful to see.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm just going to interrupt for a second. You guys are having a phenomenal conversation. I was going to mention some of these beautiful comments, but our people took too long talking about actual substance for me to mention these comments. No. It's perfectly fine. But you guys are having a great conversation here. I just wanted to say that. And in terms of it, we're going to do a whole nother segment on AOC and Nancy, because I think we really need to just show you how much of a piece of shit Nancy Pelosi is. I'm sorry. Yeah. I don't trust that woman for shit. And how awesome AOC is. And I just need to line those things, because Nancy Pelosi's made it very clear. She is not in on this. She doesn't believe in the Green New Deal. She's not going to give health care for all. And anybody who thought we could work with Nancy Pelosi to make those things happen, you're full of shit. You're naive. You're fooling yourself.
You're asleep.
We're going to have to get rid of that old bag if we're going to make anything happen. Mm-hmm. All right. And that's really where I'm at. And so, yeah, we'll talk about that. But, yeah, you guys, great on your comments. And I just want, you quoted Paul Beckwith. What happens in the Arctic does not stay in the Arctic, says Solomon
I
number
love
5.
Paul Beckwith.
And
Sorry.
but I was thinking the capitalist answer to that then is we build a Vegas in the Arctic.
Yeah.
Then what happened there would stay there.
There you go, John. Oh my God, that's so good.
Yeah, that's nice.
That's
Propose
really-
that to Trump, and then he can run the casino bankrupt. And then I don't know what happens. But
That was an amazing joke. You should be a comedian just based on that one joke. I love it.
I always said I was the grade D John, Stewart. I'm the Catholic version, so that's what you got. Jokes are,
That was fantastic.
jokes are
I'm
much
sorry.
This was a,
They put
this
that all
was a good
together.
one. Very good one.
Thank you.
That
Imagine
was
what we could do if we actually took the time to write jokes, which is what people like Lee Camp and everybody does. They bother to write them and then do an actual script.
And Jimmy Dore.
And
he
Jimmy
gets to
Dore,
do
yeah.
that too.
I mean, yeah. Jimmy's good on the fly
Jimmy's
though.
help.
He's pretty
Yeah.
good on the fly.
Maybe
Yeah.
we need a joke writing team. Maybe we can get some people to write some jokes for us.
Why? We're doing fine. We are a
do
joke.
we-
We're doing fine.
Do we intend to be funny? Come on,
No,
guys.
we're covering the crisis. Anyway, but here's the thing. It's time. I want to get out of here. It's like almost 11:30. We do not have time now because we actually covered substance and stuff. We don't have time to go through the trip to Germany slides that Markus put together. We will do a special report.
Are you
on
fucking
that.
kidding me?
Yeah. Well, sorry, you guys had too much goddamn
Can we do
content.
it tomorrow so I can be here?
Yeah. So we'll do a special on our way to Germany thing, maybe on the 13th or something. Do something.
All right.
Because I leave the 14th. All right. So I leave really early in the morning on the 14th. I don't get there till the 15th. And then I have
What
the
day
Steve
of the
Wilson
week is that?
So
My
it's
calendar.
14th is Valentine's Day. This is the gift I'm giving my.
That is a day I pay attention to.
That's,
For Christ's sake.
I said for
I'm
Valentine's Day
married.
I'm leaving
I
you.
don't pay attention to that day anymore.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So anyway, I'll be gone then. You want to see? You guys want to see the slides? It's late.
Sure. Let's do that.
See the slides? Everybody stayed in here. We still got 57 people.
Yeah, come on.
All right.
Come on.
Fuck it. God damn it. All right. No interruptions and no talking about climate and important stuff. We're just going to run through the goddamn reports.
Okay, I'm putting myself on mute.
That's what I'm saying.
Unmute.
All right. Hang on. How are we going to do this? Markus,
Yeah.
is this you? Here. Let me find the right shot. That's not the right shot. Hang on. Where are you?
Put the Germans
You're
on
in the
screen.
laptop. No, that's me. That's Amos. Where the hell did I put you? You're here. There you are. Okay. Now we got Markus.
Okay, it's not a big deal. It won't take a lot of time. It is only the schedule. Respectively, John worked out for his time in Germany, and it starts with John's arrival on Friday, the 15th in the morning. There you can see there is John somewhere. You cannot see.
Oh, wait a
that
minute. I
I'm-
don't have it. There we go. Pink.
Yes, exactly. You can see there's a little bit going on in this picture. There's John. You can see me on the street still rushing because I'm a little bit late. Lots of trees on the right side. John's luggage on the left side is going on its way to Congo, because it was mixed. So we would have nothing. And he was
Markus
standing
has this
now-
all planned.
is standing right now in the middle of the airport and not knowing where to go. In the back, you see some UFOs or something like this. I'm not sure what it is. Well, this would be the first day. When finally I pick him up, we will go back to Düsseldorf. Yeah, and then the rest of the day he will get lunch, and then we will take him to bed, I guess. Because I will go to Frankfurt with another person of my choice. John doesn't know about yet, and this is all I want to say right now. And of course, we will videotape his arrival there, and we want to see his cat suit and his cat.
Oh, right. I got to
bling.
remember to bring the cat suit. I will be doing that. Yeah.
We would be disappointed if you don't. And of course, his Scorpions shirt underneath. And the following day, this Saturday, is our concert day, and there we have Steven Wilson with John.
I got. So you guys see this picture here? This is really cool. We're going to see Steve Wilson in concert, that's me in August of 2009 with Steven Wilson at the Roseland in Portland backstage, because the band Porcupine Tree was kind enough to meet with a bunch of School of Rock kids, and I had emailed them, and they actually fucking were. It was really cool. So we got to hang back there, and I had absolutely nothing intelligent to say to him. I basically smiled like a 14-year-old kid, asked for an autograph, and then he said, "Would you like a picture?" And I was like, and then we took the picture.
Wait, that's you in the green shirt?
That's me. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's insane. That doesn't even look like you.
That was back when I was just leaving the world of corporate crap, and I weighed about 230, and that was a different me.
Wait. So it was the other guy. I thought you were the guy in the green.
No. The guy in the.
This is Stephen Wilson. Wilson.
Stephen Wilson's
Oh,
short.
I don't know who Stephen Wilson is. Sorry, I don't know.
But you couldn't tell which one's me between those two pictures? That's frightening.
No, I couldn't. Obviously, I thought you were the green shirt guy.
No.
Anyway, so the cool thing is,
and as you can see, the tickets I bought are not only the tickets, because John surprised us all, and he upgraded them to VIP tickets, so we would have the opportunity to meet Stephen Wilson and maybe have a chance to talk to him.
I'm going to try to interview him. And I sent a message to the management team from his site just saying, "Hey, I met him 10 years ago." Like, that fucking matters. But I'd love to meet him again, and interview him about his songs, because the album that we're going to hear, this tour, which is the To the Bone tour, the album is really very political in a lot of its statements, and several of the songs really talk about the condition that we're in as a species and what we've kind of done to fuck shit up. And I want to hear what he has to say. He's a really, really smart guy, and I love it when you get musicians that are just. He's a nerd. He's a musician nerd. I love that. It's just. Anyway, so very excited that Markus got the tickets. We're going to go to the show. Hopefully we'll do some broadcast. I'll do like a live update beforehand. And that was something I wanted to say about this, is that we will be, because when I go, there won't be any shows, right? But I will be able to set up a small thing at Markus's place. So we will be able to do broadcasting, and we'll go live on the scene. I'm bringing the reporting gear so we can take it around and go to different places. And so, we'll try to do that. I don't know if we can go like live. But
you will stay updated.
Yeah.
This is only to give you an expression of what you can expect. What is roughly planned or detailedly planned. And the following day we can all go over to the next slide. There we do not anything. There you can see us at home. And can you go over?
Typical German Sunday.
Yes.
Just
Okay.
chill out, relax, and so.
Hang on.
This is
Anon. That's a good joke. John is storing nuts for winter in those cheeks. Yeah, I had me some storage space. That was a good one. Yeah, Stephen was in Porcupine Tree. Steve Wilson was the founder of Porcupine Tree, but he's always just been like Steve Wilson, and then he puts a band around him. And this latest incantation has some fucking amazing musicians, legend on keyboards. So it's impressive. Yeah, I'm a fucking fanboy total.
I'm gonna listen to him now. I'm gonna try.
And we are looking forward to this. And Dennis will be the third one who will join us there. And also a friend of mine, my best friend in Germany, is also with us. I think it will be a great concert, and I'm looking forward.
You guys go crazy, and I'll be the parrot and watch over you.
Yes. That's great.
Dennis, we need someone to watch over John.
Okay.
You guys know, though, that I said this is going to be working vacation. We'll be talking to people about climate crisis. We'll be talking to Germans about just what they think of Americans and that kind of shit.
Yeah.
And just real quick, Osama, you and I might agree that Stephen Wilson writes prog, but if you haven't heard his public speech about it, he considers prog pop, and I like his take on it. You should Google that and hear what he has to say, because he basically says Beatles are the best, ABBA, or he calls them ABBA, are the second best, and they both wrote pop. And without that, and he considers himself a pop artist, and I think this latest album really does break him out of prog into that pop genre, and he likes that. So anyway, just go there. Anyway,
okay.
So quickly, because we really got to get through this. just too much stuff. So then we're gonna
No. No, this is absolutely all right. Okay, the next one, the next day after is Monday. We are trying to get a tattoo or to make an appointment at least to get a tattoo. We will find out if it works. And of course, John needs a new Walter, and I found a new Walter. And
that's
Walter
my new Walter.
This is a suggestion. You know,
that's not
it
could
work. Look like this, and this would be like the original one. You know. You might change the color. I don't know. We have lots of opportunities.
I'll need to go shopping and get a new Walter. This Walter's had it. I got this hole here, another one somewhere else here.
Famous sweaters.
I've had this sweater since the beginning. This is people who.
I used to have a sweater like that, and I'm missing mine because it was so comfy.
Yeah, they are. It's very comfy.
Nice.
I love this one, but there's a history to this. I actually had one identical to this when I was 17 in high school in 1987. Talk about being a fucking nerdy nerd then, because nobody was wearing these things. Anyway,
I was.
At 17.
I had mine in the 80s.
Yeah. So what? So this is this.
On Tuesday we are going to Amsterdam, and this is our Amsterdam trip. You know, this looks. Amsterdam is a nice city, lots of water and lots of stuff. And of course, John is very interested in the specialty of Amsterdam. This is the Dutch cheese. You can see it in the next slide. And we are going there for cheese.
I'm sure he's going there for cheese.
Yeah, cheese.
Yes. What do you think? We are going there. There's another reason.
There's a strain called cheese. I'm going for
Is there?
Yeah,
I have not clue what you're talking about, John. What you can see here in this slide is our apartment. John booked for us. You know,
this actually
it has a big terrace, and it makes absolutely sense to book this in February. You know, maybe we have some sunny and very warm days, but I would not count on this. Anyway, it looks very nice.
If you're high enough, you won't care.
It's climate change. You never know what temperature you're going to get.
I bet you we get there to be in the 50s.
I have no clue what cheese would make me high, John, so I don't know what... I cannot follow what you're saying. And
have edibles too, you know.
Go to Italy and have their cheese. That's the kind that makes you kind of high. It's good stuff.
Yeah, Anand says prostitutes, which would also be something that they have in Amsterdam as well as in Germany. But
if we are going
to the next... boy, you can't go there.
If we are going to the next slide, we see that ask Dennis before if he likes to feed the swans, and he agreed to this. And of course, we will go and visit the swans there in Amsterdam. And
so this is the red light district, right?
This is the Swan Light district. Yes,
Swan Light district. Okay, so we'll go there, smoke a bowl with some whatever.
I don't know. And then they have some obscure shops or museums there also in Amsterdam. This is one of them. They also have the Anne Frank Museum or the Rijksmuseum.
Right.
But this is I think it has something to do with gardenery, or I think John is more into this. And
this is hemp. This has to do with fiber. Everybody, this is fiber.
Fiber's important. Needs to be a part of everyone's diet.
That's right.
The stuff they're making the clothes of. I get it. Yeah, wonderful.
Kittens, mittens, exactly. Prostitutes with cheese. That's exactly where we're going here. Prostitutes with cheese. Yeah, that's probably a strain too. If you can make up a name, I guarantee you it's a strain at this point.
Yes. After we visited this museum, we are having our big UHM diner, and Katie.
Who are these?
I didn't have a photo of Katie and all of us together, so I give you an impression how it would look like somehow, Katie would be there, Claude would be there, of course Dennis would be there, John is there, and I am there, and we will have a nice dinner.
Which one am I? And that's
you can choose whoever you want to be, John.
That's a disturbing.
The one at the head of the table.
Right. As Trump would claim. In the round table there, yeah.
Yes,
America.
That's funny.
Yeah.
So we're going there. We're also where are we going? Oh, and then after that we've got and we are meeting a bunch of people. Dennis is going to cook. I'm going to bake, right? So we're going to have food. And
I'm going to eat it. And the Saturday in the evening we have our John's first football match. And
you mean soccer?
No, I'm talking about football. And he will visit a match against Nuremberg, and I hope it would be a good match. And
Because, soccer outside in February is a
Football.
smart idea.
Football.
All right, football. I got to call it football.
Please, John.
What?
Please don't call it soccer when we're in the stadium. Please don't do this mistake.
I'll do
We
my
are in the
best.
fan. You got to be aware we are in the fan era, right? And so
Yeah,
You have to be careful not to say foosball when you're in the States because they'll think you're talking about players on a stick.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Football is football. Soccer is soccer. It's yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay. The Sunday is we take a rest and we will
I will leaving you guys then and
Yes, but after you got a big smile and had a long sleep, then you gotta leave.
Like this is the sleep picture that Marcus is like. I'm gonna be. It's very nice.
Yes.
It's very cozy.
We're coming to the beginning of the next week where we roughly planned to go to the UK to visit the Queen for a cup of tea, and maybe we can make an interview with the
Marijuana
ex-rebellions. A cheese tea? I didn't get it. I got some sound disturbances here.
Cheese tea. Cheese tea. Why not?
And to visit some museums, we would like to go to the British Museum, of course, and maybe some others to see some other things there. And
I don't know.
Who
Maybe
looks
meet up with
good,
some
by the way,
protesters, some XRs or something, yellow vests.
yes, ex-rebellion, ex-rebellions.
That would be cool. Whose dog is
We
that?
are
I don't know
going-
whose dog is that. He just where'd you get that dog?
I stole it.
Okay.
Like in Seven Psychos.
You stole a dog.
Moving on. Then
Moving on,
we're gonna
yeah.
go to.
We are going to Uli's Music Store. I already gave them a call. They are based in Cologne, and they got some nice guitars. And guitar John is dreaming about is a Duesenberg guitar. They got some in store.
Not a Dusseldorf, a Duesenberg.
A Duesenberg. I said Did I say Dusseldorf?
I
No,
think
a
you
Duesenberg.
That's all right.
Of course, Duesenberg guitars, and I talked to the guys there, and they would like to see us, give us an interview, present their guitars, and have a nice time with it.
So we'll probably try to go live there, and my goal is going to be to plug in with one
Yeah.
of these guitars and start jamming some Scorpions with the rest of the Germans there.
Meanwhile, I'm out and going to get a currywurst, which is a specialty in Germany, and eat it.
He doesn't want to listen to this Scorpion. I've been practicing my Scorpion song, so I can just. I've got Winds of Change. Got it.
Yeah,
down.
this is horrible to hear. Yeah,
I'm going to do the whistle part and then play the guitar, and and this guitar that I'm looking at is a Joe Walsh, a Duesenberg, and it runs so much that if I do end up getting it, I won't be coming home because I will need to work for a while in Germany.
So you might see some rare footage of John lying on the carpet in the shop, crying and beating with his fists on the concrete, and doesn't want to leave the shop anymore without the guitar.
We'll see.
Could be sensational footage, you can expect.
You better
Great
catch
stuff.
that if that happens.
Marcus will be filming.
Yes.
John, I will bring my guitar also with me then.
Yeah?
Yeah, for the second time. Yeah, cool. We'll do this. Yeah.
I played guitar for a while.
Wonderful. Well, we'll just have to have a jam on the show.
Yes.
So
And now we have crisis time during John's stay. We have Carnival in Düsseldorf. One of those days is Altweiberfastnacht. We talked about this a couple, I think 1 or 2 years ago, which is where the women go crazy in the city. They are taking over the command of the city, and everything is going crazy. Lots of alcohol, lots of beer, lots of Düsseldorf beer.
Just
And,
Germany every day.
Yes, but nearly on escalation, nearly before escalation. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, this is what John has got to see, even if you don't drink anything, which is in this state is unbearable to.
I got other drugs.
Stay.
Marcus
Okay.
is helping me get other drugs. I just want you to know that Marcus is really cool, and he's making sure that I will be.
No, he's
There's the cheese thingy also. John is
And mushrooms.
Strange addiction to cheese right now, and of course he gets the deliveries from our grocery stores. And,
Yes.
That's what is
Yes.
not the bad stuff.
After the crazy carnival, we take a rest again the next day.
More?
And,
Oh.
Yes, of course.
Oh yes, there's another dog picture, and then I
and
fly
it's the
out.
same. It's the same dog, but with the same meaning.
Yeah.
And the following day, it's a Saturday again. We are going to Düsseldorf, to the city, and we are trying to get some interviews from people on the market, on the Karlplatz here in Düsseldorf, which is the biggest market, and get some O-tones of the inhabitants of Düsseldorf, what they think about America, about healthcare, if we would take it away from them here in Düsseldorf or in Germany, and all those stuff, which John is curious to hear from.
Yes, and you see that picture there. This is a cool district we're going to go to where they party. But if you look at the apartments, believe it or not, I know they look like a melting cake, but they actually made them that way.
Yes,
that was on
this
purpose
intended,
to really freak out people's minds when you go there. So we're going to check
Yes,
that
of
place
course.
out. I'm excited about that.
Yes.
It's going to be fun.
And after this, we need another day to relax, because there is, it seems to come to an end, but I'm not sure, And if you look at the last slide, it might happen that.
I won't go back. I'll be working. The only thing that will keep me, because they got good health care. They got, it's better than they got Mama Moody. She's not insane,
Yeah, Mama Moody is not very long Mama Moody anymore, right?
Whatever. Whoever's going to take her place, not as since it won't be Trump, right? Anyway, the only reason I'll have to come home is because I will feel really guilty that I left all my animals and this little piece and Lori here to deal with all of them, and I know that I will need to return. But my goal is to escape America eventually and bring her over to Germany. That's
a good idea, yeah.
So, acid flashback, Julie? To what? Oh, the buildings, yes. Yeah. They're a little trippy to look at, aren't they?
Yeah, strange.
It's very cool over there.
Yeah, that's the planned schedule for John's stay in Germany, and
that's it.
And I hope we can bring you a lot of it live or in other versions than on YouTube later.
I agree. All right, well done. Thank you all for hanging in there. We're coming up on a 2-hour show, which is something I never want to do again. Just not my thing. Appreciate all of you being here. Thank you so much for the donations. Thank you for staying here with us and being a part of this little independent media family. And Schultze says you play Winds of Chains in order of Gorbachev, which he claims he is all the time favorite of local. All right, I will do that. It says I should play Winds of Change because the local Russians will love me. All right, I'll try that. I had to show this because there's just a couple funny things before we get the hell out of here, and we'll get out of here with a song that Marcus picked called "Fuck You," which is perfect.
I like the name.
Yeah,
that's great.
So this is those of you that grew up Catholic or any kind of weird ass religion with weird stuff. This is a picture out of a children's Bible, and it just says, "The sower sows his seed." This is definitely Bible artwork, and I just love that because I don't know that even the people that wrote this understand what they're really showing there. I'm happy with the image,
Are those bats in the background?
I don't know. That's really not where I was going with it. Jesus got some nice legs. Anyway,
I know where you're going with that, John.
I mean, for fuck's sake, everybody. This was I thought this was a great statement. Ironically, a 70% marginal tax is much more moderate than historical alternatives, such as the guillotine, which only took off the top 13% or so. That's, when we say eat the rich, when we talk about go green or guillotine, we're serious. I am. And I think the politicians that we have in government right now, like AOC, are our last hope. If we can't get, our elected officials to get their shit together, then it's get out the guillotines. What else are we going to do? Nobody likes to talk about violence. Nobody likes to talk about, you can't know democracy and votes and Bernie, love, hugs. In the end, when you're facing something that is evil, that doesn't really give a shit whether you live, you're going to have to decide whether hug is going to be appropriate response. I hope votes win, but we're getting really close. And that's part of why I'm depressed, And that's part of why I need to take a break, is because the circle keeps coming around. And while there's a little glimmer of hope in AOC and a little glimmer of hope in the Green New Deal, they're just little glimmers, you know. So I'm hoping in 2020 we see a hell of a lot more than that. I need more than a spark. I want a fucking fire. I want to feel the burn we were supposed to be fucking feeling in 2016, you know. Anyway, I thank everybody for being here and putting up with me and this and us and working together to put the show together like you do, and everybody in the audience for just being here and being who you are. And take some time out for yourselves, right? Take some time, because you don't really know how much time we have left.
Yeah.
At all. And,
yes.
The moments we have right now are the moments that matter. And it may feel selfish when you know there's kids in cages and the 6th grade extinction happening, but you're part of the extinction. So, you know, balance that out.
Yeah.
All right, what's the song we're going out with, Marcus?
I can make this very, very short. I have absolutely no idea. It's a song suggestion I got from a very nice lady in a city near to mine, and yeah, and I love the song, and yeah, I just want to play it.
All right,
That's
don't know
it.
anything about the group Archive. I've never even heard of them.
I know that they were formed in 1994, and they broke up later, and they played in different formations. They went on, and but this song seems to be. I'm not completely into it. I love the song, but I had no time to research them further. I love the song, and this is the reason why I just want to play it.
All right.
I hope you guys like it.
Thanks, Marcus. It's Archive. The song's called "Fuck You," which, with all the love that I send to you, is so appropriate for this show. Love you all, everybody. Yes. We'll see you tomorrow, actually, because we have a big show with Larry and Betsy, and we're going to be talking about progressive legislation that supposedly exists in the Democratic Party of Oregon. I'm not holding my breath, but we'll see. Larry says it's there. It's like a unicorn. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Amos.
Bye,
Thank you,
guys.
Christine.
Thank you.
Okay, I forgot that this is the song with like clapping for 30 seconds at the beginning. So it's going to be really weird. It's just 30 seconds of clapping.
There's a look on your face I would like to knock out. See the sin in your grin and the shape of your mouth. All I want is to see you in terrible pain. Though we won't ever meet, I remember your name. Can't believe you were once just like anyone else. Then you grew and became like the devil himself. Pray to God I can think of a nice thing to say, but I don't think I can, so fuck you anyway. You a scum, and I hope that you know. Now the cracks in your smile are beginning to show. Now the world needs to see that it's time you should go. There's no light in your eyes and your brain is too slow. Can't believe you were once just like anyone else. Then you grew and became like the devil himself. Pray to God I can think of a nice thing to say, but I don't think I can, so fuck you anyway. Bet you sleep like a child with your thumb in your mouth. I could creep up your side, put a gun in your mouth, makes me sick when I hear all the shit that you say. So much crap coming out, it must take you all day. There's a space kept in hell with your name on the seat, with a spike in the chair just to make it complete. When you look at yourself, do you see what I see? If you do, why the fuck are you looking at me? Why the fuck are you looking at me? At me? Why the fuck are you looking at me? Why the fuck are you looking at me? Why the fuck are you looking at me?
It's also like 5 minutes long.
There's a time for us all, and I think yours has been. Can you please hurry up, 'cause I find you obscene. We can't wait for the day that you're never around, when that face isn't here and you're right on the ground. Can't believe you were once just like anyone else. Then you grew and became like the devil himself. Pray to God I can think of a nice thing to say, but I don't think I can, so fuck you anyway. So fuck you anyway. So fuck you